Okay, so and feel free to ask questions. As you know, I'm right here, so feel free to ask questions as we go through it. So this is Podio, right? And then this is going to be where you're going to be working out of mostly. So there in your workspace, there's going to be 5 different apps. You're mainly going to be working out of the Leads app, which we're going to go through in detail right now. And after that is appointments, so that you can see your calendars and things like that. And then listings. This is you may have your own CRM for listings too, or your own way to keep track of where you are within your own listings. But as long as you keep this updated as well, and it's pretty basic. It's pretty basic. It's just really for us to track where we are with the listings as well. And then investment deals, which is just for you guys to keep track of what status we are in selling the deals that you guys have locked up for us. Okay, so that being said, let's dive right in. This is leads. So, come on, my computer's being slow today. Okay, so I just created just an example one. So we're only going to be looking at this one example lead right here. So what you're going to want to do as soon as you get a lead assigned to you, first of all, you're going to get a text message that essentially just says, "Hey, you got a new lead assigned to you. This is the name. Go into Podio and then call them." And when you come in here, you're going to create a private view, which we'll go over in a little bit. But it's essentially going to have your leads here, and then you can have your new leads, right? So, you know what? Why don't we do that right now? Let me pause the video, and then you guys look on the left. These are the views, and this is essentially how you're going to keep all of your leads organized, and how you're going to be viewing all of your leads. So you can create a view if you want, a simple way to filter and a quick way to just, go, for example, a quick way to go look at all your new leads. Because if you have 100 leads in there, you only want to see ones that have just been assigned to you. That's what the views are for. So you can go ahead and click Create New View under Private View. And you can create whatever type of filter you want. So the process for creating a view is pretty simple, but you just use the filter here. All right. So for example, if you wanted to, let's say, just look at the leads that were assigned to you in the past 7 days, you could do that. If you want to just look at, confirmed appointments, then you can do that. But whatever you like, right? So essentially, the first step is you use the filter on the right hand side. So what you're each going to do is, so if you go to Agent, so go to the filter. Go to the filter up here. Click on that. Yep. And then go to scroll down to Agent. Yep. That's actually you pressed it. Yeah, right there. And then go to your name. Click out of that. Obviously it's going to be 0 for now. But then you name it, and you can just put My Leads. And then just save that. And then under My Private Views. Yeah. So now, whenever you come in here, since you are only want to be looking at your leads, you just scroll to Private Views and under My Leads. And what we're going to do is create one more view, because this is going to be the new leads view. Okay. Like it's going to be my leads, but my leads that are new. So go ahead and click Create New View again. And my new leads, or whatever you want to call it. It's completely up to you. By the way, no one else can see these private views, just you can. So feel free to change or make as many views as you'd like to. You want to keep yourself.
You want to go back into the My New Leads?
Yeah, so you can actually click the wrench right here. Yep. And then click Edit. Okay, so you're still good. Yeah. Okay, so again, go to the right side.
To the filter?
Yeah, click the filter. Click your name again, because you're still, anything that you're going to be doing that's private views is going to be your name and then something else. Okay, so click your name, and then you also want to go to overall status. And then you can click new lead. Yep, and then you can see that. So anytime, so what that looks like on here on the lead, right? So anytime a brand new lead is assigned, right? Let's say for example, so this is my end. Not this too much, but for example, if I were to assign this to you, Mario. Oh, that's why. That's why it's not working. All right, never mind. That's a back end thing. I'll go ahead and do that later. But essentially, what it's gonna be like is, okay. So this is the lead, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever there's a brand new lead that's assigned to you guys, the system will automatically mark it as a new lead. It's not doing it because I just had to add you guys real quick in the system in the back end. But it'll come in as a brand new lead. Okay. What I want to do is I'm just going to go through this lead app with you. So it starts with the address, right? That's already going to be there. You're going to be there as well, automatically already there. And this overall status is automatically going to be changed. You don't actually have to change it. It changes on its own based on what you click here, right? So, and again, here's your agent workspace. So this is really where you're going to be working. So the best callback time that's actually going to be filled in. Let's say, whatever, 2 p.m. Or sometimes it'll say like 15, 30 minutes. This is going to be filled in already from the lead manager. Since this is a test lead, it wasn't filled in, but it will be filled in. So contact status. So this is where it starts. So it'll say no attempt as soon as it's created, because you haven't attempted to contact them yet. If you call them and they don't pick up, that's what this is for. So if you call them and they don't pick up, you click call attempt 1. Okay. And what that does is it actually sends them a text message as well, saying, "Hey, this is Maria. This is Maria. I just tried to reach out to you with regards to your property." It's going to show up right here. It just sends them a nice text message saying, that you try to reach out to them and to call you back, which is great. And essentially, you want to keep trying to call them, of course, until you reach them. If you don't reach them on the second time, you click this, and you keep going all the way up until 4+. In that case, it stops sending them text messages. But if you don't reach them by the 4th call, obviously still attempt to call them, but it's not going to send them any more text messages. So it does take like a minute or two just to pop up. But for example, this is the first message. So call attempt 1 says this: "Hello, this is again, I haven't added you yet, so this will say, 'Hello, this is Maria,' so because it's an automatically linked field. 'Hello, this is Maria calling to Maria calling to confirm the appointment that you scheduled with Kalisa Proctor.'" For example, like that's the lead manager that I set, right? That's going to be that was talking to the homeowner. "Call me back at," and again, this is going to have your phone number here. Looking forward to speaking with you. And then each call attempt, like I said, has their own text message. Now, once you contact them, you click contacted, right? And then you proceed forward. So you go along with the script, which I'm gonna show you guys in a second. And then you just confirm the appointment date and time. Confirm that that's still good for them. If it's not, then obviously you can change that here. 5 p.m. works better. Okay, great. Change that to 5 p.m. And then you're gonna click confirmed here if they confirm it, right? Now, if they do not confirm it, and if they want to reschedule, for example, really try to reschedule them for as soon as possible. You know, obviously, I mean, I'm sure you guys know this, but the further out the appointment is, the higher probability it is that they're going to cancel. So, you know, try to schedule an appointment with them. You know, max 48 hours. Really try to get it within 24 hours, and then just confirm it. If it's rescheduled. If they want to reschedule, but they don't give you an appointment date and time, that's what this button is for. This is more like an action button. This is just telling you that you still need to reschedule this. And at that point, you would just delete this out. That way, we know as well that, hey, this person canceled, but they want to reschedule. We don't have an appointment date yet. And then at that point, you would, set a follow-up to call them back, whatever it is. To that point, in Podio, what you are really going to, you're going to live and breathe and die by tasks. So this is going to be, the way that you're going to really keep track of all of your leads. So, I'm sure you guys have this in whatever CRM you currently use. But, just enter a task for yourself. Follow up with seller and you want to put their name there. So, John, we'll say, at 3 p.m. Okay, you're going to want to assign that to yourself, and then you're going to put a due date there. So today at 3 p.m. And that's it. You're going to create it. All right. Once you create it, the way that you can see all of your tasks is right here at the top of on the Podio bar. There's this button called Tasks right here. And that way, once you're flooded with a lot of different leads and you're following up with, up to 100, 200, 300 leads, whatever it is, however big your pipeline will be at that time, that way you can go into this view, the tasks view, and see what you have to do for the day. Obviously this is all overdue stuff, but if it's overdue, it'll show up in red. If it's upcoming, it'll show up in black. And so what you're going to do is go into each one of these, for example, and you can go to the lead right here. All right. And then after you're done following up with them, which is the task, you can go ahead down to the task and click done. Okay. And that way it'll remove it from your tasks sheet. So this is a great way to keep all of your tasks organized. So going back to the lead. Okay, starting from the top again. So that's what reschedule is. If they canceled it altogether and they just want to be done with it, they're not interested anymore, and they don't want to sell their property, and in that case, you just click that button. But let's go ahead and say that the appointment is confirmed, which most of them, the very high majority of them, should be confirmed because we're going to be qualifying them very heavily here. So, okay, great. You're going on the appointment tomorrow. Let's say you went on the appointment. It was completed, right? So as soon as you complete an appointment, you come back from the appointment, you click that button, and then if it was an investment contract, if you got the investment contract ratified, you're going to first include how much you got it for, right? Say $500,000. And then you're going to click this button. What that's going to do is that's going to send it to investment transactions, which is another app here. So if I go back to your Workspace, remember I was telling you about the 5 apps? So if it is an investment deal, it's going to show up in investment deals once you click that button. Moving too fast. Okay. So once you click this button, it's going to send it to investment deals, and it typically takes just about 2 minutes or so. See, there you go. And the only thing this is, this sends it to two places. One, it sends it to us, right? Because obviously we have to close the property, right? Once you guys get it under contract, and it sends it to our back end. But our back end updates this, and really this is a very basic thing. It's really just the status, just so you can keep track. If you guys want to keep track of where the investment deals are in the process of closing that you guys got under contract. So real quick about this, pending is it hasn't been marketed to our buyers yet for whatever reason. In some cases in DC here, we don't want to, we deal with TOPA, for example, so we want to get our TOPA rights assigned to us before we market it to our buyers. But typically it goes to marketing pretty quick, and in marketing, that's when we're marketing it to all of our buyers to, either to schedule a showing or if they want to lock it up virtually, without seeing the property. Scheduling a showing means that we're in the process of scheduling a showing, right, for the property. Follow up means we've already done the showing and we're waiting for offers and we're reviewing offers. Assigned means that it's been assigned successfully, and then at that point we just wait for the property to close. So pretty simple, but like I said, if you want to keep track of any investment deals that you guys have gotten, then this is the place to do so. So back to the lead. If you guys got a listing, you fill out the listing price. Let's say $750,000, and then you click this button. So the same thing. It's going to send it to the listings app. All right, so that's going to be here. Send it to your listings app, and again, it just takes a minute or two to show up. All right. Come on. Okay, you know what? We're going to keep going through this, and then we'll come back to the listings after, because that is a little bit longer. Yeah, but essentially, that's it. So, that's essentially the long and short of it. If it is a dead deal, if it's no deal, and for example, they either want to wait a month or 2 months, which obviously you guys know nothing is perfect. It's not all it doesn't all happen like this. Either you get the contract or you don't. So if you don't get the contract, just click that button and add them to your follow-up. So, again, go down and create a task. Say follow up with John in 3 months, or 1 month, really. And then you just create it for a month out. Custom date, August 13th or 16th, whatever you guys want. And just create a task for yourself. Don't forget to include yourself here in the connection. All right, so back up here. Here, let's see if the listings app is ready. There you go. Okay. So for the listings app, this is the corresponding lead, right? Which is this test lead 1, which is this entire thing. And I believe the agent will already be marked as yourself. If it's not, then just do it. The listing status, if you guys see anything here that should be there, that's not there, let me know. Do you guys see anything off the top of your head? Again, you guys are the agents, we're not, so. This is really just for us. If you guys solely want to use this to keep track of your listings, that's great for us. Like, honestly, that would be even better. If you guys really have something that you've stuck with for a long time that you don't want to move from, that's okay too, as long as you keep this updated on our end so we know what's going on with the listings too. Hang on, I'm sorry, let me just take this real quick. Good afternoon, this is Joe. Chris, how are you? That's okay. Yeah. Hey, Chris. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm actually hosting a training right now. Do you mind giving me a call back at about 1:30? Okay, Chris Roberts, right? Oh, Chris Pratt. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're here in DC. Okay, perfect. All right, Chris. I'll look forward to talking with you at 1:30. Thank you. Bye-bye. Sorry about that. Oh, and I was recording that too. Great. Okay, so this is the listings app. It's pretty simple. Again, you got the status up here. You got the address, whatever date you listed it. If you haven't listed it yet, then obviously keep that blank. The price listed for, agreed upon commission. All right, and then this is automatically going to update based on your price listed and agreed commission. This is your projected agent profit. Right now it's set to 70% of this. Right, so it's truly going to be your profit. Your MIS listing number, a link to the comps, link to the Dropbox picks, and then any additional notes. Maybe we might want to maybe include somewhere here like what I'm just thinking right now. Would it be helpful to include a section that you can keep track of offers, maybe? Or how do you guys typically do that currently? Or do you guys just kind of weigh them out and see and just kind of accept an offer?
I mean, generally for me, as the offers come in, we review them individually with the sellers.
Okay.
Unless it's something that's kind of close to where they even want to be, we don't even hold them as a backup.
Gotcha.
If they're close, then I just make a notation and we keep it. At least I keep it in an email attachment.
Okay.
So that I have their backup if they want to reconsider a little later.
Sure.
So.
Okay. All right. So, any calls, anything? Or?
Just to note fields because sometimes I may have a property in Deanwood and we just set like a deadline. I got 2 offers in, so just saying deadline, date at Tuesday at 4.
Perfect.
Receive 3 offers, reviewing offers with our client. So,
Perfect. Yeah. And so, if you guys want to timestamp anything, the comments section and the activity section is great for that because it literally timestamps everything that you do. So if you want to say, "Oh, just received, offer for $485 from John Appleseed." All right, and then you want to that's timestamped as well, and then so that I would suggest keeping any notes that don't pertain to the actual property here. That way we can see it too, and we can see it, how you're progressing in terms of like timing as well. Because like I said, it timestamps everything, so it's it's nice. It tells the story.
Okay.
The activity section tells the story. But yeah, and then if you want, you can keep things in notes as well. But yeah, other than that, property details, number of bedrooms, right, number of bathrooms. Yeah, square footage, lot size, year built, and then closing price. Let's see, we got $495. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot this was $750. Doesn't make sense. Hopefully, you guys are doing better than that, right?
Yeah, it's in the wrong section. It should be in the investor section, not the listings.
I know, I forgot, but you guys get the point. So, and then this automatically calculates your commission as well, your actual commission. So then this is projected, and then this is actual. So let's update that. Let's say we got the full asking. All right, and then that's it.
This is tracking. What is that tracking?
This is for us.
Okay.
So this is going to have a campaign, because we like to track our marketing as well,
Okay.
and how well our marketing is doing. So we can track our how many listings we have by certain locations, or certain marketing pieces and things like that. So we're really heavy tracking our marketing. So that's what that is for. And then that is just for our developer. He made that software developer. And that's it. So that's the listings app. It's pretty simple as well. Nothing too complex. And so yeah, that's the listings app. That's the investment deals app. And that kind of concludes the areas that you're going to be updating in Podio. Okay. If you ever need to update an appointment date and time, I would suggest doing it here, and it's going to reflect in the appointments app. So if you want to go to your appointments app and kind of view a calendar of all the appointments that you have, let's say for the week, you can do that. So for example, you can just see here, and you can go into each one. You can do it by week, by day, and kind of just organize your schedule out here. I'm gonna be doing I'll coordinate after this a way to all synchronize our Gmail calendars, so that we're all on the same page with that as well, and we have both your calendars. But yeah, that's essentially the appointments app. You're not really going to be using it much. You're really just going to be looking at it to organize, to stay organized, or to see what you have for the day or for the week. And essentially, that is all when it comes to where you're going to be updating. Now, I'm going to show you what you're going to be doing before you go on the appointment. I'll show you the scripts that you want to use, and any documentation or documents that I have that will be helpful. So, first things first, you want to obviously know about what's going on with this property when you first get the lead. So you scroll down. So seller and property info, this is all input by our people. So type of deal, what this means is, to our discretion or to our lead manager's discretion. It could be based on price or based on distress. If they think that it's an investment lead or a listing lead. Now, if it's either or, if there's not really a strong inclination to either one, that's what this is going to be. But if it's now this is an important one too. This will be a lot more rare. But if it's investment deal ready is clicked, what that means is that we pretty much got everything done over the phone. The price, ready to go, they're ready to sign. All you really literally just need to go there and present the contract. So that's essentially like it's ready to go. It's ready to go. They're ready. They're locked in at a price. In which case, I don't know if you would want to present the listing option at that point. I don't think you should, because they're looking for a cash deal. Mm-hmm. So that one's probably going to be a clean, dry cut appointment. Like I said, these will be a lot more rare. But investment lead, you're going to want to go with a very strong inclination to get the cash offer. And then you can still present the option of the listing, and then listing lead, of course. And every single one of these cases, except for deal ready, you're going to present both options, right? So, and this will just be a very rare scenario. So, in most cases, you're going to be presenting both options. Seller name, that's here. The phone number is here. And oh yeah, I'll show you guys too. So if you guys see this, if you guys look at my phone right here, I got the text messages from 20 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. From when I clicked the call time one. Hello, this is you guys saw it. It's right there. And then this is again. I can't seem to reach you by phone, but if at any time you're looking for an offer for your property, etc., just give me a call. And then it's going to have your number there. Okay. All right. Okay. So this button is just there to see, if there's a second seller. If there's a second seller, then we need to add another line in the contract. That's really all that's about, and that does that automatically. The email will be here as well, and any details, right? This is where it's going to have the condition of the property from what they've told us, or any reason for selling, how soon they want to sell, any details really. So I just included an example one. Tenants are a huge headache. They want to be done with the property. It's going to have the occupancy right here. It's either going to be vacant, owner occupied, or tenants. And then if they're distressed or not distressed. Okay. Their tax assessed value will be here as well. And oh, okay. That's weird. Okay. Disregard that. I should say a number. So if they have a number in mind, it's going to be there. So, and then if they're negotiable or not. Right. So after the property details is our evaluation of the property. So we evaluate. I was telling Carlos earlier, but we evaluate every property more diligently than other investors do. So we're going to have a more accurate, very accurate ARV and offer range there. So what you're going to be doing, and we're going to go through this more in depth when we go into the script. But what you're going to be doing is you're going to be presenting, when you present a cash offer, you're going to be presenting them an offer range. And then after assessing the property, after viewing any repairs that need to be made or just the overall condition, what you're going to do, what we find to be powerful, is you're going to call us on the spot while you're with them. You can say, hey, our buyer's ready for this contract right now. Why don't I give him a call so that he can determine exactly where he is within this range, if they're open to the offer range, if they're open to that cash deal in that range. And most of the times, if they are, then we can get a deal done right then and there. So that's the offer range. Okay. So this is the offer status. This is just on the phone, right? So this is not for you guys to update. Remember, the only place you guys are updating anything is the agent workspace. So that's all of this up until seller and property info. The rest of it is just as a reference point for you guys to get information for the property. So this offer status is sometimes we give them offers right over the phone. And if we do, this will just tell you if it was accepted, if it was not accepted, negotiating, or if we didn't give them an offer yet. So that's important to know for you guys as well. And then this is the contract section. So this is where you can print out our contracts. So most of the time, we want you to print out a blank price, and you guys can just fill it in when you're there. I'm sure you guys do that for listings as well. And contract type. So this is, it's either going to be based on the occupancy. The only reason for that is here in DC, the clauses change with tenants and stuff like that. And we can do that for Maryland as well. So based on the occupancy, that's what you're going to select. Make sure that you select one of these, because if you don't select one and you try to print the contract, it won't print. Or I'm sorry, if you try to generate the contract, it won't print. EMD, that's typically $500 unless we tell you otherwise. Right? We typically never give an EMD more than $500 if it's a cash deal. Closing costs, you can go ahead and say paid in full by buyer, always. And closing number of days, you can actually leave this blank, and that's something that you can negotiate with them too. We can close in as little as 14 days. We typically want 14 days. We've done 10 before, but we want 14 really to be sure, to market it appropriately, and so our buyers can get their financing in order and all that stuff. And then any other terms, if there's anything special that you guys talked over the phone with the homeowner that they want, but 99% of the time it's going to be blank. Either way, there's a section in our contract for other terms to handwrite it if you guys, if there's something that they really feel strongly about. Okay, and then deal action. So you're not really going to be using DocuSign because you guys are going on appointments. So honestly, you can just disregard this. This is more for generating the contract. So if you have everything selected properly here and done right, you can go ahead and click this button. And what that's going to do is that's going to generate the contract for you. And it's going to attach it right here to the bottom into files. So I'm going to refresh it. And typically this does take like a minute or two as well. So, just be patient if it hasn't gotten there yet. Yeah. Okay. So that'll take a minute. And then just like the other apps, there's going to be tracking info. So just, don't update, don't touch the tracking info. That's just for us to keep track of information. And yeah, absolutely.
First one, on your terms, on your cash deals, do you ever allow rent back option for the sellers if they need the cash sooner they can vacate the property?
We don't do that. We can do that on like a case by case basis if it really is like a really good deal.
Mm-hmm.
But more often than not, it's kind of more of a headache for us to manage. So all of our deals have been clean cut deals. And we really stand our ground that way when we have been talking with the sellers. But at the same time, we're very cooperative, and we like to work with them. So if we both really want to get a deal done, and they want to stay there a month later, we can just set the closing date for a month later.
Okay.
But rent back that's going to be a little too much.
Okay.
Second question.
Second question was, once we print the contracts, are the contracts going to come printed pre-signed, or
No. So, because it's not. Because we're not there signing it, it's typically better for us if they sign it without us signing it first. Because we want to actually be there signing it. It's a little, but again, this is a newer model, so we can kind of see how that plays out. And if you find that they're really turned off by that, and they're not signing because there's no signature on their part, then we can change that. Although I have a buddy who's actually using this model in Atlanta, and he never signs it. He always gets them to sign, and then they just bring it back to us, and then we sign it and ratify it. So I don't really foresee that being an issue. But we're not going to sign it beforehand. Any other questions? Okay. Awesome. All right, so what we can do now is kind of go through the scripts now that we've gone through this. Oh, let me refresh this. All right, so there you go. So here is the contract. So let's go over our contract real quick. I'm just going to go over it with you guys just so you guys are comfortable with it. Because if you do get the contract, you're going to want to go over it with them. So, but it's very, very clean, very, very short, and pretty manageable. Doesn't have any hidden things in it. So, sales contract for real estate. This agreement is made this whatever day it is by between the seller and the buyer, which is us, and our signs. This is very important. Hereafter called buyer. The buyer and seller shall hereafter jointly referred to as the parties. The seller agrees to sell the buyer the property located at the address, as is condition. The description is including any fixtures, windows, and floor coverings, built-in appliances, etc., 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 etc. And I usually just read through that, with them. Purchase price. That's where you're gonna write that in there. EMD if that's not written in, and then just the total sales price. So we typically, include it in it. The earnest money is just for them to know. So if you do like 100,000 here, and you're gonna be writing this, you're gonna be handwriting this, you're not going to do 100,500. It's just still going to be 100,000. Right here, earnest money is included in total purchase price. So the following terms, right? So we have closing costs, attorney fees, title fees to be paid in the following fashion: paid in full by buyer. Transfer taxes and recordation fees split between buyer and seller. Right? Everyone, each party pays their own transfer taxes and recordation fees. Taxes, not including transfer taxes, liens, encumbrances, and a mortgage, paid in full by seller. The seller and the buyer will set closing be as soon as possible for all parties, but no later than. You know what? I'm gonna have to tell my developer there should be a space there so that you can go ahead and type in or write in 14 days. Let me actually make a note of that so I don't forget. Alright, so as soon as possible for all parties, but no later than 14 days after date of ratification, without written addendum to this agreement. So this is the owner-occupied contract. So that's why it says, if seller is still living in the property, seller will have 30 days to vacate the property, and closing will be set to no later than. And again, this is where you would include the days. You can go ahead and for now you can just. That's typically the standard for, so you can just put 14 days. They always have extensions otherwise, anyways. So you can go ahead and just type in 14 days over here. Where is it right here? So one thing to just note about this field in general, specifically for this field, just make sure you include the word days. Because otherwise it's just going to show up 14. And then, it's not going to look good, obviously. So, if closing is not possible within this time due to the title or owner occupancy issues, we purposely kind of make that a little vague. Just if we need more time, which never happens, but just in case. Then closing may be extended for another 45 days at the option of the buyer. But sometimes, for example, we really do have title issues. Like, for example, our title company can't find who really owns a certain note. It gets traded and passed down and traded, in the tertiary market a lot. So sometimes, that happens. 5, property sold as is with no warranties implied or stated from seller. 6, earnest money to be held in escrow by buyer's closing attorney, district title. So we usually use district title here in DC. That brings up a good point for me, actually. I think we've used Lakeside Title in Baltimore. Are you familiar with Lakeside?
Once or twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
They did pretty well for us. I don't know if you have one, but typically for now, district title also closes in Baltimore.
Okay.
So for now, we can use that one until we really find a trusted title company.
Okay. Emerald Bay is really good, and they're really good with investment transactions. They're in Owens Mills.
Okay. What is the name?
Emerald Bay Escrow Services.
Emerald Bay.
Emerald Bay.
Emerald
I'll
Bay.
send you their contact information.
Okay, awesome. Number 7, earnest money non-refundable to buyer unless title is non-conveyable or seller is not available to close within time period of this contract, or inspection during buyer due diligence period does not pass or qualify according to buyer standards. Again, this is vague, and it's kind of vague on purpose for us. Typically, as I said, we analyze our properties very well, so we've actually never had to back out of a contract before because we got it for too high. Except for that one in Baltimore, because it was a new market. Well, that's why we asked you. But anyways, but we're gonna be very, very diligent, and I've told all of my lead managers, and in Baltimore I'm gonna be double checking their offers because it is a new market, and we're gonna be you're gonna be there as well, anyways. So you'll be able to give us your evaluation of it too. So seller to provide buyer with permission to access properties solely for purposes such as evaluation of repairs needed and for final inspection. This is important for us, obviously because we want our buyers to view the property, and so that's what that's there for. And if we, if it's vacant, really try to get the keys, or we can put a lockbox in. We can put a lockbox on it. And if there's tenants, just let the owner know that we're going to need access to the property, and if they live there, if it's owner occupied like this one, then it shouldn't be a problem. All right, and the next, any furniture, fixtures, attachments, and debris located in and around the property not removed within day of closing becomes ownership of buyer. So this is they actually love this clause because, we can buy it with anything and everything in the property, like all the trash. If it's a really dilapidated property, or a really old property where they have a bunch of junk that they just haven't cleaned, they love the fact that they can just leave it there. And a lot of distressed homeowners choose to do that. 10. This offer is contingent on the seller providing a clear title to the buyer. The buyer will have 10 days to determine if the title is insurable. If the title is not insurable, this agreement shall be terminated, and any and all earnest money will be refunded to the buyer. 11. The title report and survey, if required, will be ordered promptly, and if not available on the settlement date, settlement may be delayed for up to 14 business days to obtain the title report and survey. After which, this contract, at the option of the buyer, may be terminated, and a deposit will be refunded in full to the buyer. I don't think we've ever had a title report not come back to us in 14 days, but it's just more just to cover us as well. 12. Buyer will be given sole occupancy at closing unless otherwise specified herein. And then 13. Contract becomes a legally ratified agreement only after visual confirmation of vacated property. Any changes must be made in writing and mutually agreed upon. And then this is where they sign, and then you're going to want them to initial each page as well. Sign, date, initial. And that's it. You're going to print out 2 copies, one for them to keep and then one for us to keep.
Are you sending them an email copy with the ratified?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we taking it back?
Absolutely, no. We can either, if you would like to take it back, but we want to be conscious of your time as well because you're going to be going on appointments and you're going to be busy and things like that. So if you would like to take it back, if you have time to, or if you just want to keep that.
Can email it. I know that giving them a copy
Absolutely.
without your signature on it,
Absolutely.
they need to ratify it.
Absolutely. So the only reason I say that though is there are some cases where they're old sellers and they don't have email and stuff like that.
Right.
So in that case, if you're going to be in the area, then drop it back off to them. But if not, then we can just mail them a copy. That's fine. Essentially, yeah, that's it. And anyways, because when you're here with the seller, talking to the seller, because this isn't your contract, it's not. If you don't know how to explain one of the terms, it's pretty clear. But if you don't know, it's not gonna look bad. You can just say, "Oh, let me call the buyer and ask them about this," or let me call the buyer and ask them if they're okay striking this clause. Because sometimes they want to, for example, to take this out. They don't want any due diligence period. They want us to buy it right then and there as it is. And sometimes given the deal, we'll do that. If it's a great deal and we know that it can sell, and sometimes we'll do that. So yeah, again, if you have any questions during the appointment, you can always give us a call. So that is our contract. Very standard, very very short and concise. It has everything that we need, as it has everything that they need, and that's all. We've been using this for years. It's been great. Any questions on the contract?
Nope.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, almost done here. Okay. So that is essentially, we went through the entire process, and then that's it. So again, you would just print that out, print that contract out, and then just take it with you. With regards to calling them, right? Let me open up our script, and then here you can actually look at it too. So that it's pretty basic. You know, you just you don't want to stay too much, but obviously what you want to do is, I'm sure you guys are good at this. Just build rapport with them as much as possible. It's pretty basic. Hello, this is Joe. Actually, hold on, let me look at it real quick. Yep. So, hello. This is this? Oh, that's right. Is this? I'm sorry. So, hello. Is this Mr. Seller? Whatever the person's name is. Hey, Mr. Seller. My name is Joe. I'm a licensed real estate professional. I know you actually just spoke with Kalisa Proctor regarding your property in DC. How are you today? And you say, yeah. Hey, I'm good. I'm good. Great. Well, that's good to hear. I'm doing well too. As Kalisa had explained, I'll be helping you in possibly selling your property. I'll be coming out to evaluate your property, explain to you all your options, and present you also with a cash offer on the spot. I'm just calling to confirm our appointment tomorrow at 3 p.m. Does that still work for you, or is 11 a.m. better? And this is just typical sales. You always want to present them with two options.
Alternative choice.
Yeah. And then, more often than not, if you get back to them, as soon as possible, which our standard, we're really trying to get back to them within 30 minutes of hanging up, of our lead manager hanging up with them, and he's gonna text you automatically again. So just try to stay on top of your phones. And then they're gonna say, yeah, that still works. Okay, great. Well, just wanted to confirm a few things. Let me confirm we're speaking about the property address. Yes. And it has 3 bedrooms. Yes. 2 bathrooms. Yes. And built in 1995 or 1949, whatever it is. Yes. Okay, great. Well, wonderful speaking to you, Mr. Seller. Is there anything else you'd like me to know about the property before I head out there tomorrow, or whenever the appointment date is? Before I head out there on Saturday, or are there any last questions that you have for me? And then, great. I'm so excited to meet you and tour your property. Our team has a tremendous amount of success in your area, and we've moved a ton of properties there. Can't wait to see you tomorrow at 4 and present the various options that we have for you. And that's it. Pretty simple. Any questions on that? Okay, great. All right. So that is the script as soon as you call to confirm. And then again, you're going to be pretty much right here. And so you're going to contact them, and then you're basically just going to update that. Update the appointment time, and then click confirmed. And then that is pretty much it. That's pretty much it for everything. Between the time that you set the appointment with them, when you get voice to voice with them, and the time that you go on the appointment, we actually have this here, which outlines just a few things qualitatively between listing a home and then accepting a cash offer from an investor. And you can email that to them if you'd like, if you have their email, or if not, you can always bring that to them on the appointment just so they have. It's just a small little article. And then Other than that, on the appointment, right? That's going to be kind of like the biggest thing that will be a little more new for you guys, I think. But on the appointment, again, always go for the cash offer And again, it'll be notated right here, right? What kind of deal we really think it is. Now, keep in mind that this isn't going to be always 100% accurate. So there will be times that it's an investment lead, and you actually get the listing. Hopefully, not too often. I don't think though I would be a time where it's a listing lead that's converted to an investment lead, just because that's probably a price issue. Yeah. And let me go back to just that.
I have one question.
Sure.
When we're going on the appointments, you haven't said anything about collecting either a copy of their ID to verify that they're who they say they are when they're signing the docs and all that good stuff.
You know, to be honest, we've never done that. Did you do that?
We always get copies of the driver's license for people when they're signing the docs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. We've actually never done that. I mean, we've bought a lot of properties.
Okay.
But
Okay.
do you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really do that. Yeah, I think maybe. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Well,
I think so.
I think what I do more often now is just when I have an appointment, I Google them, so then, I'll find them on Facebook or find a picture, put a picture to the name, and that way when I meet with them, it's like, it's the same person that I found online, but I usually don't ask them for an ID up front or anything like that.
Yeah, I would say majority of the time they are who they say they are in our experience. Yeah, and we've bought properties from some questionable people, so I think that is.
I've just always been trained. You CYA,
Yeah.
and if anything,
No. That's
goes
that's a good practice. I think I don't think I would see a problem, if you're used to doing that.
Yeah, if it works for you, it's not going to hurt anything in the process.
If anything, it can only help.
Right, it builds your credibility and your comfort.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So hopefully I've taken you guys pretty much through the entire process. We're going to be consistently doing, feedback from you guys on the appointment, how you guys did on the appointment. But essentially, what you want to do on the appointment is, not too much different from what you already do from a regular listing. Just go there, you're looking out for their best interest. You're going to present them both options. And so what you let them tour around your property, you build rapport with them, you laugh or whatever it is, whatever kind of person that they are, imagine marry them. And then build their trust. And then here's another document that might be useful for you. All right. So take one of these.
Okay.
So, for example, this is a net sheet, right? And we have obviously a blank copy of this, so you can print out a bunch of these. We can print out a bunch of them for you if you'd like. But this is just an example of taking them through number-wise, financially, what the difference is. And I think a lot of times looking at all these zeros is attractive to them, and as well as the days on market, 3.5 months, and then these are just estimated. You can estimate them based on your knowledge of the location, and then you can estimate any appraisal adjustments and things like that. And commission paid by seller always marked at a 6%. You can do that on your calculator while you're with them. Repairs required by inspection. That can be anything. Again, that'll be your knowledge of the area, since you guys have listed properties before. Obviously it happens definitely when the inspection goes by and they're required to make repairs, right? So you can kind of estimate based on their property too. And I believe we have a sheet, or at least we can make a sheet that will help you kind of calculate that based on what their repairs are needed. Um,